aside from excitement of Kapp, let's just talk about the loss today of Joe Kapp.
Yeah, you know what? When you think back, and I thought back this morning in the last couple of days, 'cause I knew he was going through some stuff. That just what an amazing character that the province of British Columbia and Canada was able to bring into our lives. If you think about all the things he did with this football team, 63, 64, and then maybe the first guy to carry the Canadian flag on his back, proud Canadian Football League player, going to the NFL, had some success, had lots of success, Hollywood, still holding grudges from 63 with Moscow. I mean, all that stuff just, all that stuff that just, the whole province of British Columbia holds a grudge from what happened in 63, and we should. That's why when the Ticats come to town, we're not as nice to them as maybe we should be. But, yeah, just an amazing guy, which, I think we are just all grateful that we were able to be a part of it.
Do you have a favorite Joe Kapp story?
Do you know what? I met him one time back when I was younger. I was here as a fan, and I like the story about him giving up his number 22, to Doug Flutie. I thought that's always been in my mind that he, as the GM, brought Doug into this league and then had to make the tough call to give up his number, which he did, and then Doug wore it proudly. So that's the story I like. But there's so many stories. If you look back, just all the stuff that he did. He was a general manager here in '90, player here obviously for a long time, and just always, again, a big advocate of Canadian football, which we're always happy for.
And when you look at, Windsor Rose Bowl, Grey Cup, and Super Bowl? Yeah,
I think he's the only guy to ever play in all three games, and I think obviously won all three. So yeah, good on him. Again, just a great player and a great person to be living in Canada amongst us.
Do we want to talk? You go ahead. You go ahead.
We were here a week ago, just after the draft. A week has elapsed. How are you feeling now? Has anything changed for you? Are you still feeling like you're rolling forward?
Yeah, things are good. We've obviously, like I said, that day is an exciting day to just do the fun things in football, which is draft players and talk to those guys and all the, how excited they are to be drafted and everything else. And as I said, the next day you got to get down to business and start talking contracts. So we were able to get 5 of our guys under contract, and then Harrison is still, he just got back from the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. Mm-hmm. So he's still doing some research on what his future holds, but at the end of the day, I think he'll be here sooner than later. I just don't know when that exactly will be. So yeah, everybody, it's all coming as we had planned, and I'm excited to see those guys on the field.
We talked a lot to Vernon about how this year, I don't want to say, he doesn't like the word settled, but things are a little more in his control this year than they were the last couple of years. How do you think that translates into him?
Again, at this time last year, we were all speculating, all of us in this room speculating that Nathan was going to be who he was. We know what Vernon is. He's one of the best quarterbacks in 3-down football. So we are in a better place today than what we were a year ago because of guys like Vernon being on our team and being more prepared. Being not thrown to the wolves, being here a week and all of a sudden going into the hostile places like Calgary and expecting us to win, which we did. So he's more prepared. Jordan's more prepared, just because they've had more time to give Vernon all the opportunity to lead us in the right direction. So I see nothing but good coming from those guys, and so I think our quarterback position is pretty set.
Also, you've got you got 2 guys behind him that a lot of other teams could use as a starter.
Sure.
How does that put the dynamics, the extra maybe pressure on him? Or
Yeah, I don't think it pressure. I believe Vernon will take the information he gets, whether it's from Jordan, whether it's from Dane, whether it's from Davis. All those guys are professional athletes that are going to – you need to have lots of smart people in the room to beat other smart people. And so I think having all 3 of those guys is going to be an asset to everybody in the room. So I think that's an exciting thing, not a negative.
And what about you said last year there's a lot of questions about what was going to happen, and you answered most of those. You got to the Western Final.
Yep. So
you have to at least get to the Grey Cup this year to have an equal season.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, at the end of the day, professional football is based on wins, obviously, but, it's not easy to win. I mean, especially in the Western Division, we don't, there are no weeks off. You're going to be playing these tough teams. Everyone in the Western Division, including us, has gotten better. And so we're going to have to play our A game all year round to be able to compete. And I think our guys are up for the challenge.
Neil, what do you like about your football team? Because when I look, we talked at length last year just about the makeup of it. You had a lot of first year, a lot of second year guys. Really not many growing pains. I mean, there was the odd game, but as Jim said, you made it to the Western final. How do you view this football team looking at everything that you've gone through last year?
Well, the growing pains, I think, were in 18, 19, 21. Obviously, 20, we didn't have a season, but like 21, we didn't make the playoffs. We had the young football team. That was our first time being able to put our real stamp on it. 22, we really saw what we were, and so 23, I expect us to keep on going in the right direction. But it all has to start somewhere, and it started 19, 21, and so we do have some guys that have been younger before that are now still young, but still now it's time to step up even that next, and I expect those guys to do that.
Is the running back position still the big question mark?
Well, again, I don't know about question mark. I know that there are questions on who it's going to be, but that's why we go to training camp. If we knew who is all going to start, I would tell Mr. Doman to, hey, let's scrap training camp and just start day one. But we do need time to gel, and there are obviously some positions that need to be fought for and up for grabs, and we have 5 young guys with experience that I expect to come in and lead us, and the guy who wins that position is going to be tough because there's 4 other guys fighting for it.
Don't want to say any position's easy, but can a running back get up to speed quicker than other positions?
On some aspects, the running back can, like running the ball, going to hole A as fast as you can, that's one thing. But when you add the protections that the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator expect you to do, there's the learning curve right there. Running the ball to get upfield is the easy part, which we all see and like, and you guys will see. Getting the blocking techniques and the obviously pass protection is the tough one, which those guys I know our coaches will get those guys in the right spot.
Do you move a little then? Does a guy who's better at blocking get an edge over a guy who might be a really good running back but can't block his mother? Yeah,
good question. We'll have to see at camp. I mean, obviously, if we can't touch the kid and he's running up and down the field, that's one thing. That's obviously not going to happen. So, I mean, blocking is a big part of that position. You just can't put the fullback in and then try to trick everyone that we're just going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, big job ahead of us for those guys. But I have all the world that they'll get it done.
How much better do you think Vernon's going to be with everything that Phil been great last year for Nathan. Had a full off season. Said there wasn't a lot of changes to the playbook, but he's a lot more comfortable.
Sure.
How much better do you think he's going to be?
Well, he can only go up, right? And I thought he played at a really, really high level for us by coming in, and now just knowing him, and if you look at his background, where he's been, the schools he's been at, the teams he's been at, when he's gotten the opportunity to play at a high level, he has. And so I just can't see why that wouldn't happen here, especially with the tutelage of Jordan, who coaches these quarterbacks at a really high level, and Vernon will be the same.
When we chatted with him, it sounds like he has a really firm grasp on the responsibility at hand, and the fact that you guys had so much success last year. There was the excitement with Nathan that was making it to the Western final. Now you got to start fresh and new, but there's that same level that he'd like to go and beyond. Do you sense that he's grasped that responsibility and it's firmly in his back pocket?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a professional. Coming from Eastern Washington, Oregon, he's played at top football schools and at the professional level, played at a high level. So I mean,
but is he showing you something on the off season or last season?
Oh, totally. He's shown me that he's the guy that we wanted and are excited. I'm glad we made that trade when we did, and again, I see us moving in the right direction, trending in the right direction, which is where you want to be.